So good day, class. So today I will continue discussing the different parts or the different chapters in the business plan. So for today, ang i-discuss ko lang is chapter 4 and then chapter 5. Chapter 4 is the target customers and the main value proposition. And the chapter 5 is the market industry dynamics and the macro environmental factors affecting the opportunities and threats in the market. So first is the target customers. So sino ba talaga yung target customers natin? We've been discussing this paulit-ulit na sa ating mga past lessons that the target customers are our potential or the possible consumers of the product. So these are the people that the business wants to appeal to. So they must be of sufficient size, sufficient paying capacity, and have the sufficient interest to purchase the products being offered by the enterprise because the business existed for the target customers or to reach out our potential consumers. So how do you determine if there are enough people in your market who are willing to purchase what you have to offer at the price you need to charge to make a profit? Kaya again, you have to understand the target market or the target customers, the sufficient size, if they have the paying capacity or what is their purchasing power, and then also have to identify their interest in purchasing your item or your product. For example, if you sell to consumers, do you have demographic information? Diba yung demographic information is the study of the population. So you have to understand ano ba yung income nila, ano ba yung education nila, ano ba yung typical occupations nila, the geographical location, and then the family makeup. Kasi that will define their interest and their preferences in choosing to buy or in deciding to buy your product. So that will identify your target buyers. What about their lifestyle, their hobbies, their interests, their entertainment activities, their political beliefs, their cultural practices? Ano yung mga lifestyle information na yun na nakakaapekto for your target buyers to decide whether to buy or neglect your product. So you may well very well sell to several types of customers. For example, you may sell at both retail and wholesale, and you may also have some government or non-profit customers. So, dito sa target customers, magiging specific tayo kung sino yung magiging potential customers natin. Unlike in the business concept na sinabi lang natin in general kung sino, dito may sariling chapter na for the target market. So, they are, um, you have to discuss or you have to give different groups for the target market. So, di ba dun sa target market or target customers, na diniscuss ko last time, the target market, there are market segmentation and market aggregation, in which in market segmentation, the customers are divided into different sections or the business uses market segmentation to appeal to different segments of customers. Example is karinderya. So sa karinderya, maraming choices. So it can appeal to a lot of different of customers. While market aggregation, tinitingnan niya ang customer as a whole. So ano yung mga pangangailangan ng um, mga customers na panglahatan. Example, ano eh, sinabi ko dati, mga tindahan ng mga bigas. Kasi lahat na kumakain bigas, tindahan ng tubig, yung mga water station. So, yun yung market aggregation. Tinitingnan niya ang customer as a whole. Directly surveying your current customers can be expensive and that is not sustainable for this time kasi pandemic. So for planning purposes, it's acceptable to substitute published industry-wide information. Ibig sabihin, I am allowing in the target market, I am allowing the students to search for acceptable substitute published industry-wide information. Yung nag-exist na mga published work about your target customers. the descriptions about your target customers. Example, yung naka-red. So, the average US household computer owner is between the ages of 31 and 42, has graduated from college and earns $40,000 to $60,000 per year. Ibig sabihin, you have to find articles in newspaper, magazine, um, sa mga, ano nga yung tawag doon? Sa internet, ng mga information about your target customers. So, ito yung magiging example ng chapter for the target market or the target customers. So, the company, for example, is Dark Roast Java. Dark Roast Java's customer in Pleasantville, that is the place, the location of the company. So, Pleasantville is comprised of 5 target groups. So, katulad na sinabi ko kanina, in target customers, kailangan the customers are segmented. They are grouped separately. So, nagbigay siya ng 5 target groups: affluent local residents, tourists, local business people, students, travelers passing through. So, nung binigay yung general na mga type, the next is, i-discuss muna. These groups are all potentially strong customer segments. So the benefit of this mix of customers is that it helps maintain consistent business throughout the year. So, katulad na explain ko last time, hindi tayo pwedeng pumili ng iisa lang na customer or iisang segment lang ng target market kasi malulugi tayo. So, while tourism is strong all year long in Pleasantville, it peaks during the summer months. So, conversely, the student population is not as strong during the summer as it from September through June of each year. So, in-explain dyan, bakit siya kailangan pumili ng 5 target groups of customers? Kasi, hindi pwedeng mag-rely siya lang lagi sa students kasi may mga summer break. So, wala silang kikitain doon. So, the other customer segments, local residents, the local business, and pass-through traffic on US 66 provide a consistent foundation all year long. Ibig sabihin, consistent yung kanilang magiging cash flow dahil may iba't iba pa silang pagkukuhanan ng mga customers. Also, by appealing to several market segments, Dark Roast Java does not become overly dependent on any single consumer group. For example, several local coffee houses with primarily student customers do poorly during the non-school months. Kasi nga, kung ang customer segment, nag-a-appeal ka lang sa iilang customer segment, example, the student, paano naman yung mga summer break? Malulugi yung company natin. So, they must also market themselves anew each year to the incoming students. Dito na, i-discuss yung research na nakuha mo about your target market. Again, you have to, balikan natin yung nandito kanina. So, for planning purposes, it is acceptable to substitute published industry-wide information. So, ito yung choice niya kanina, yung affluent locals, and then ibibigay mo yung research na nakuha mo dyan. So, within 5 miles of Dark Roast are, hindi ko mabasa kasi nandyan yung recording button. The most affluent people in America. Homes in adjacent Niceburg sell for 1 million to 50 million. Key influencers, trendsetters, artists, writers, and celebrities have homes in Pleasantville. Affluent locals, yun yung people in the local community. So, ibig sabihin kaya naging target market na yung local community, of course, physical proximity to the target location, and then dun daw sa community nila, there are different influencers and trendsetters na may bahay dun sa Pleasantville. Next, aside from the people from the local community, we also have tourists. So more than 5 million tourists visit Pleasantville every year. Most people will pass by the Dark Roast Java location. Tourists come to America's Riviera for the beaches, shopping, dining, and nearby vineyards. So you have to give the research, some parts of the article na magsusupport para dun sa group of customers na pinili mo. Next is the local business people. So, it is not the people in the local community, but the local business people. So, Dark Rose Java sa industry. Dark Rose Java is located on the corner of A Street and First Avenue. It's across from the exclusive Chic Descartes I Spend Therefore I Am department store and 1 block from the #1 shopping destination in Pleasantville, Lucre Gallery. A Street and First are the two most heavily traveled streets in Pleasantville. Ibig sabihin, local business people, the company is talking about the industry, not just the people in the local community. So, marami daw mga customers, possible customers, local business people na pupunta doon. Kunyari, pag may pumunta dun sa Lucre Gallery, sa museum, pwedeng pumunta sila dun sa lugar na yon. So, kung magiging choice natin is na place, example, is Taal, so pwede natin ilagay yung affluent locals. Kasi ibig sabihin, yung lugar natin, especially kung malapit sa palengke, mas madali. And then tourist, kasi national national heritage naman ng Taal. So, marami talagang tourists dyan. Local business people, dahil marami din naman mga places dyan na, lalo na ngayon, ang daming mga startup companies na nag-emerge in the place. Next, students. So, hindi na natin pwedeng ilagay sa ngayon ng students kasi pandemic. So, Pleasantville is home to a major branch of the State University. So, in-explain lang dyan yung article or research na magsusupport bakit pinili yung ganong group of people as target customers. Next, travelers on US 66. So, travelers is different from the tourist. So, one of the state's two major north-south routes, parang yan yung traffic flow. Ibig sabihin yung pagpasok ng customers or the possibility ng mga customers na mag-pass through lang dun sa iyong location. So, according to the Department of Transportation, more than 35 million auto trips will pass through the city. So, those are the researches, published articles and researches that will support your group of customers. So again, this is the example of the research or the business plan na ginawa ni Cyril, ng grupo ni Cyril last year. So, example for the chapter 4, the target customers and the main value proposition. Yun lang talaga yung laman ng chapter 4. The introduction is this chapter presents the possible customer group of the business and its unique selling point. So, punta muna tayo sa target customers. So, Ventre Rook's customer base in Taal, Batangas is comprised of 4 target groups. So, sinabi na agad dito kung saan yung place na pagtatayuan at kung ilan yung target groups. Local residents. So, yung affluent local, pinago niya as local residents, the students, the tourists, and the local business people. So, in-explain niya dito yung these groups are all potentially strong customer segments. The benefit of this mix of customers, halos kaparehas lang nung nandoon sa binigay ko kanina. And then, ito na yung kanyang explanation. And then, ito din yung kanilang na-research last year na ginawa nila. Local residents, out of 56,000 people that live in Taal, Batangas, 40,307 aged between 5 to 60 years old. Therefore, 70% of the population belongs to the group who mostly buy sweet foods. So, supported na agad no research yung grupo nila na local residents. Students, Ventre Rux is surrounded by different educational institutions. Merong FAST, merong Rizal, merong Taal National. Students spend most of their money on food, especially on snacks. They make up the huge percentage of the marketplace. Tourist, Taal Heritage Town, Vegan of the South, is known for different tourist spots including Galeria's Ancestral House and Taal Basilica. That's why it attracts multitude of tourists. According to the tourism officer, 5,000 tourists visit Taal Heritage Town monthly. These people love to find great store to buy pasalubong. Local business people, Ventre Rocks will be located in the center of Taal, where most of the business establishment were also located Therefore, business people are also one of the potential customers of stores. So these are supporting articles or researches para dun sa mga group of customers na napili nila. So ganun lang kadali hindi nila kailangan ng survey pero yung mga published articles and then nagtanong-tanong din sila katulad dito. According to the tourism officer, nagtanong sila sa municipality na 5,000 tourists daw yung nag-visit sa Taal Heritage monthly. So, yun yung kanilang mga supporting details. So, next part of the chapter 4 is the main value proposition. So, it is the unique selling proposition of the enterprise and it answers the question, why do the customers have to choose your product over the other competitors? It is a sentence or a paragraph. One sentence paragraph siya actually that clearly articulates what your service, your business, or your organization does, who it brings value to, and why it's valuable for those people. Again, paano makikita yung ng customers yung worth and value ng business na meron ka. So, hindi to tagline. Naakala ng iba na ang main value proposition ay tagline, pero hindi po siya tagline kasi nga one sentence paragraph yung main value proposition. So, it's very specific, certain, and very detailed kung ano yung process na nangyayari or ginagawa mo dun sa iyong na kayang i-provide ng iyong business. So, kailangan makita ng customer yung value ng product mo. So, when we write a value proposition, we have to think about two main things. First, the experience of our customers, and second is the capabilities of our product. So again, babalik tayo sa target customers. We have to understand the perceptions and the interest of our potential customers or possible consumers. So, ang una is experiences of our customers. So, we have 3 questions na kailangan sagutin para ma-understand natin ang ating target customer. First, what are their jobs? Not, when I say jobs, not literal kung anong trabaho nila. Pero ano yung ginagawa nila, ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nila, ano yung mga gusto nila, yun yung ibig sabihin natin what are their jobs or ano yung madalas na ginagawa nila. Next, second, what pains do they experience? So, ano ba yung mga bad at mga negative na na-experience nila doon sa isang outcome? Diba sinabi ko dati, yung hindi na ipoprovide ng ibang product or ng ibang company, doon ka pwedeng sumingit. Yun yung opportunity mo para i-provide yung mga bagay na hindi kaya i-provide ng ibang company. So, what pains do they experience? Ano ba yung mga bad outcomes na na-experience nila from the different businesses na kaya mong tugunan? So, what positive gains are they looking for or receiving? So, as an entrepreneur, we have to tip the balance. Kailangan mas mataas yung gains na naibibigay natin dun sa customers kesa sa mga pains. These are the questions to understand the target customers. Now, yung nasa kabilang side, these are the response questions na kayang i-provide ng business natin para dun sa question na sa customer. So, what products are you offering customers to help them complete their jobs? Is what we're offering a pain reliever? Or better yet, is what we're offering a gain creator? So you have to understand the situation of the customer and your capability to provide the product na kayang sagutin yung demands and needs ng customers. Example yung Stitch Fix. So the customer's job is to shop for clothes. Yun yung kailangan natin na bigyan ng focus. Again, pag sinabing job, hindi kung ano yung mismo trabaho, kundi kung ano yung may na ginagawa nila. So, ang desire and then ang demand ng customer is to shop for clothes. So, we have to make a main value proposition for Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix is a clothing company. So the first part is to understand the customers. Kita nyo, customers. We have our possible customers are they are busy. Ano may mga problems nila? They are very busy. Ano pa yung mga jobs nila? They are tech savvy. Ibig sabihin yan, mahilig sila sa technology. We have to identify and to classify our potential customers. They are busy, tech savvy, ages 25 to 50. They live in the US. All genders. Ibig sabihin, nag-a-appeal tayo sa lahat ng customers and working across all fields. Again, Stitch Fix is a clothing company and these are the classifications of your customers. Next, pag na-understand na natin ang customers, we have to understand naman the customer's pains. Ano ba yung mga problema nila? Since they are working in all fields and they are all busy, they have no time to shop for clothes. They don't know their body type. Hindi nila alam kung anong mag-fit sa kanila. They have limited budget and they live far from clothing stores. Yun yung mga pains nila. And then, ano yung mga pain reliever na kayang i-provide or gustong ma-receive ng mga customer. So, mobile app para mas madaling ma-reach out yung mga clothing brands. Different packs for different budgets. And then, doorstep delivery, easy returns, personally styled wardrobe. Kasi nga, hindi nila alam or meron silang body type doubts. Easy return, pag hindi nila nagustuhan, pwedeng ibalik yung parang Shopee. Now, what do the customers want? Gains of looking good and to feel confident in and out of the workplace. So, they are all busy working people from different fields. So, yung gains na gusto nilang makuha from your product na gusto mong i-provide is to look good and to feel confident in and out of the workplace. And then, dinagdagan mo yung iyong kayang i-provide ng company mo. Yung company mo, so ito yung gusto nila. So, sinagot mo, di ba doon may response question tayo, sinagot mo yung kagustuhan ng customer, pinrovide mo siya sa mobile app. Tapos meron, doon sa mobile app, mayroong parang survey na nagtatanong ng iyong mga measurement and preferences. Meron din yung nag-a-assist para sa personal wardrobe mo and hindi na nila kailangan pumunta pa sa brick and mortar mo or sa physical store mo para lang pumili ng damit. So, kaya na nilang pumili sa paggamit lamang yung app sa cellphone. So, yan yung mga kaya mong i-provide. Yan yung job, yan yung pains, yan yung gains na na-discuss sa main value proposition. Ngayon, ito yung simpleng main value proposition. We save our clients time by doing the shopping. But, the correct main value proposition is Stitch Fix leverages technology to save working clients time by using personalized measurements, preferences, and stylists to shop for clothes which are delivered straight to their doorstep. So that is the complete example of a main value proposition. Again, it's a one-sentence paragraph kasi dinidiscuss na dyan kung ano yung kayang i-provide ng business mo at paano niya gagawin yung management para ano yung management na kailangan niyang gawin para maibigay at masagot yung demands and the desires of your customers. Ito yung main value proposition ng group ni Nasai. Ventre Eurox produces foods to save people from sadness by giving sweet taste to their sweet buds and sweet words to their souls, making the world better, not bitter. So, yan yung main value proposition. Again, it is different from the tagline. So, the next chapter 5 is the market industry dynamics. So, it assesses the general industry environment in which you compete. So, ini-evaluate niyan yung industry, yung environment mismo ng industry. So, the industry analysis is the section of your business plan in which you demonstrate your knowledge about the general characteristics of the type of business you're in. So you should be able to present some statistics about the size of the industry. Example, total um, US sales in the last year is ganon, and its growth rate over the last few years. Is the industry expanding, contracting, or holding steady? So, again, magagaling yung explanation nyo dyan sa market industry dynamics sa mga published articles and researches about your industry, about the business na pinaperform ninyo, and kung saang industry nagpa-participate yung business nyo. Who are the major industry participants which might not compete directly against these companies? It's important that you can identify them. For example, significant changes in the target market, in technology, or in other related industries may affect the market's perception of your product or your profitability. So, So, in understanding the market industry dynamics, nagkaroon sila ng comparison um, from a business na nagpa-perform dun sa industry na yon. So, example, sa kanila ano ba? Sweet yung kanila, di ba? Merang food, merang yung kanilang ino-offer. So, about baking yung nakuha nila na company. Kasi pinagawa ko, para maintindihan nila yung market industry dynamics, kailangan pag-aralan nila yung performance or yung magandang performance ng industry base sa performance ng isang business. Una, baking in the business, ito yung kay Nasay pa rin. Baking in the Philippines has grown into large industry that provides greater business and employment opportunity. So, ito, mga research lang din yan, published researches. Example, dapat yung company na yun nasa Philippines, of course. Wildflower Bakery Cafe Corp. Since sila ay retail business at merang lang naman yung ino-offer nila, so madalas yung pagkain nila makikita or ino-offer sa mga cafes. Kaya cafe, ito yung cafe na nakuha nila as a comparison. Is a world-class restaurant business established in 2012 in Manila, Philippines to offer delicious premium-priced food and efficient service married with the perfect ambiance at prime, highly accessible location. So, nag-research lang sila about that company and pinrovide nila kung ano yung naging magandang, nag-provide sila ng mga details para tungkol dun sa performance ng company. Yan. Ganun lang yan. Pero baka hindi ko masyadong ipagawa yung market industry. Or hindi siya belong dun sa ipapagawa ko na market industry na panibagong business plan sa inyo. So the next part or the next chapter is the macro environmental factors affecting the opportunities and threats in the market. So the external environment factors greatly influence the business success, strategies, and decision making. So yung na-discuss natin nung third quarter pa na social, political, economical, ecological, and technological na mga economic factors, macroeconomic factors, yan yung i-discuss natin for this chapter. Social and cultural factors or the socio-cultural. Cultural factors in heritage, living styles, religion, and etc. I-discuss natin kung paano nakaka-apekto itong social and cultural factor dun sa business na balak nating itayo. Next is political factor. So, yung mga fiscal and political requirements na kailangan nating i-follow, mga legislations, paano nakaka-apekto yun sa pag-establish natin ng business. The economic situation or the economic factors, which includes the inflation rate, the currency exchange rate, and etc. So, mamaya papakita ko sa inyo yung example kasi mas madali malaman kung paano siya gawin if naibigay na yung example. Natural factors or also the ecological factors and then the technological factors. So, dito nila diniscuss, dito sa macro-environmental factors, dito nila diniscuss kung paano yung each factor ay nakaka-apekto sa business performance. Dito, culture describes the way things work around here. Specifically, it includes the values, beliefs, behavior, artifacts, and reward systems that influence people behavior on a day-to-day basis. So, diniscuss nila, nagbigay sila ng proof about culture, socio-cultural factor. Taal Batangas is one of the well-known tourist spots in the Philippines, and because it's a home of hundreds of heritage structures dating from the Spanish colonial period, scholars have been pushing for its inclusion in the UNESCO World Heritage List. That's why the municipality is not open for any business that will not help to preserve the heritage town. So ano yung apekto nun daw ng sociocultural factor? Isa sa mga rules na kailangang sundin in sociocultural factor pag magtatayo ng place sa Taal, dapat ipine-preserve yung culture. So, yun yung isang factor na nakakaapekto. Political factor. Political factor impacts any business organization and can also introduce a risk factor that can cause the business to suffer loss or compromise over its profit stream. Political environment can change because of policies and actions of the prevailing government at every level, national to local level. So, ano yung, ito explanation yan. Kasi sabi ko sa kanila, hindi laging kailangan ng, dapat merong introduction about dun sa mga factor na i-discuss. So, as a food manufacturer and retail company, we're situated in the middle and end of the food supply chain. Unfortunately, defective food product can find its way in the variety of ways due to contamination, incorrect labeling, or defective containers. So, dyan nila in-explain yung effects ng political factors sa kanila business performance nila. So, next is economic factors. Again, this is just an introduction. Next is an economic recession of whatever scale has the potential to change the purchasing attitude of the customers. Ibig sabihin, the economic situation of the place or the country can affect the purchasing power of an individual. Kaya, yung economic situation maaaring makaapekto din sa performance ng kanilang business. Kasi pagka may economic instability sa country na nararanasan ng consumer, makakaapekto yun sa purchasing power nila, makakaapekto yun para sa generation ng profit ng company. Yun yung ibig sabihin nila dito sa economic factor. In-explain ko na lang. Next is natural factor. So, ano yung epekto ng, again, this is just an introduction. And then, ano yung kailangan nilang gawin para makasunod sila dun sa rules sa natural factor. So, the heritage town of Taal is 14-kilometer radius away from the Taal volcano, which means that the business situated in this place is vulnerable and can be affected when eruption happens. There will be huge drop in the number of tourists and visitors in Taal Batangas, which prompts small businesses and even the large one to temporarily close, which already happened dahil nga sa pandemic. This will affect the sales of the business. Again, diniscuss nila kung paano ang natural factors ay nakaapekto sa performance ng business. Aside from volcanic eruption, halos lahat ng business plan ko last time ay laging sa Taal. Kaya halos pare-pares lang sila ng reason for natural. It's the weather and the volcanic eruption. So weather is the state of atmosphere describing, for example, the degree to which it is hot or cold. It affects consumers' emotional state. And then the last one is technological factors. So technologically advanced companies put many basic items like groceries and household goods on automatic replenishment, coordinated by virtual personal assistant like Alexa and Siri, who will anticipate every need of the people. This will negatively affect Ventre Eurox that still uses untechnical systems since they are a startup business. Kaka-established pa lang nila, yun yung magiging problema nila in terms of technology. Hindi pa sila kayang mag-provide ng ibang mga technological advancement kasi nga kakasimula pa lang nila. So, yun yung factor na makaka-apekto sa kanila. So, These macro environmental are the external factors that can affect the performance of your business.